In MMA, confidence can be useful, but sometimes fighters take it a little too far.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
From disrespectful face-offs to mid-fight taunting, some competitors seem completely convinced they're untouchable. Unfortunately for them, the cage has a funny way of correcting that belief. In today's video, we're looking at 15 moments where cocky fighters learned that lesson the hard way. Instant knockouts, brutal comebacks, and a few very awkward reality checks. So before we jump in, make sure you're subscribed for more MMA stories like this. Now let's see what happens when confidence turns into karma. Overconfidence is not limited to the men. In the EFC bout between Cheyenne Vlismas and Karolina Wojcik, the tension begins during the face-off. Vlismas steps directly into Wojcik's space, attempting to intimidate her. Once the fight begins, the answer arrives quickly. Wojcik drops Vlismas early. The first round becomes a showcase for Wojcik's striking. Vlismas attempts to recover through clinch work, but the round clearly belongs to Wojcik. Over the next 2 rounds, Vlismas pushes forward, trying to turn the fight around. However, Wojcik's counters remain precise.
Now she just has to hang tight. This was can't stretch her out. Contact elbows from the bottom of the This is a fight! These ladies are playing tonight.
In the end, the judges deliver a clear decision victory for Karolina Wojcik.
Cheyenne, the Warrior Princess!
One of the more theatrical personalities to ever appear in MMA. His name is Jason Solomon, an Indian fighter who seemed completely convinced he was about to become the sport's next superstar. His walkout against Amitesh Chaubey already raises several questions. Most notably, why he is entering a professional fight still holding his phone with earphones plugged in.
Being walked out by an entourage and his trainers. You can see the fans in the audience with the support for the hometown hero, or as he likes to call himself.
Jason strolls in with the confidence of someone stepping into a circus ring rather than a combat arena. Naturally, he also attempts a little intimidation toward Chaubey, a bold performance. Within moments, Jason Solomon is overwhelmed and the whole production ends abruptly.
In the black trunks, representing the Mumbai Maniacs, Jason Ramesh Solomon representing the Delhi Gladiators in the red, and here we go for the welterweight. Oh! He's hurt! He's hurt! He's hurt! He's hurt! He's out! Unbelievable! Checking in. There you go. You see this? Big right hand. Cracked Jason straight in the jaw. You can see.
Small collection of supportive friends assures him everything is fine. He's still the toughest man around.
He was out of it. Hammer fist, 3, 4, 5.
Now we examine a moment where mixed martial arts briefly intersects with interpretive dance. The participants are Joe Harding and Johan Segas. The fight begins with Segas immediately pushing forward, clearly looking to secure a takedown. Harding manages to stay upright and soon begins landing several clean punches of his own. Naturally, confidence starts to grow, perhaps a bit too quickly. After connecting with a few strikes, Harding begins celebrating mid-fight, adding some showboating and light taunting toward his opponent.
To the showboat.
Oh, nice spin kick to eyes. Oh, we're getting a bit counter out of him.
Round 2 arrives and the behavior continues. Whenever Harding spots an opening, instead of pressing the advantage, he occasionally pauses to display a few dance moves for the audience.
He's hitting that spin kick, whatever he's doing.
Lead leg, when he gets a chance, he's kind of lifting that off the ground a bit.
Yeah, he definitely.
Entertaining, certainly. But there is a small problem with that strategy. When you repeat the same behavior often enough, your opponent begins to recognize the pattern. Those moments when the hands drop and the celebration begins create a rather convenient opportunity. So in round 3, the timing finally lines up. Segas waits for the right moment, catches Harding mid-performance, and lands the strike that ends the fight immediately.
Always sinks!
He set it up by just waiting for Joe to do something.
And then there was some...
Next, we move to the matchup between Theodoros Ginting and Windry Patalima. The action begins and Ginting quickly lands a solid punch. Afterward, he casually walks toward Patalima as if he's taking a relaxed stroll through the park. To be fair, during the opening round, Ginting is performing quite well. He isn't excessively showy, but his attitude suggests he feels very comfortable in the situation. He keeps advancing, steadily pressing Patalima backward. Toward the end of the round, he even turns to the referee and begins complaining, seemingly frustrated that his opponent is moving away too much. Then, round 2 arrives, and the taunting becomes more obvious. Ginting begins provoking Patalima more openly. Clearly enjoying himself.
Mengganggu seperti ini dia satu lagi boom dan terus membuat pintu itu terus bergerak ya kembali ke blok. Straight kanan tadi bro. Ini dia mencoba kombinasi boom. Kalau di clusteringan Edward yang sering melakukan seperti ini, tapi di welter kita punya Theodorus.
However, near the end of that round, the energy starts to change. Patalima begins finding his rhythm and slowly gaining momentum. By the time round 3 starts, the picture looks very different. Ginting now appears exhausted. The earlier swagger has disappeared entirely. He likely understands how this is trending. Halfway through the round, Patalima lands several clean shots. Ginting drops. Patalima quickly follows up by locking in a submission. And just like that, the fight concludes. Our next example explores the hazards of believing your own promotional material. The subject here is Manel Kepe during his meeting with Kyoji Horiguchi. Before the fight even begins, Manel appears completely convinced he is the superior species of fighter. His prediction is simple and very confident. Horiguchi will be finished within 4 minutes. A bold timetable.
4 minutes. 1ラウンド5分、2ラウンド5分、3ラウンド5分、インターバルは60秒で、4ラウンド5分。
Horiguchi, meanwhile, reacts with a quiet smile that suggests he may have a slightly different schedule in mind. The fight opens with both men exchanging strikes almost immediately. Rather quickly, Manel eats a solid punch. You can see the moment register. Suddenly, he is working much harder to secure a takedown. The urgency has noticeably increased. But interestingly, the taunting continues. Manel still behaves as though everything is unfolding according to plan. By the end of the round, however, his face tells a different story. Damage is visible, and the 4-minute prediction is not aging particularly well. Round 2 begins, and Manel maintains the same rebellious attitude. Even after absorbing clean strikes, he continues gesturing and taunting. Eventually, Horiguchi responds with a perfectly timed counter to Manel's kick, dropping him to the canvas again before the round finishes. Round 3 opens and the pattern repeats. Manel hits the floor once more. He tries to dismiss it with a casual gesture to the crowd, as if nothing significant has happened. Horiguchi, however, notices the opportunity immediately. Not long after, he secures a submission with very little resistance. Confident fighters from Japan are not especially common, though every rule has an exception. In this case, that exception is Keiji Hagiwara. Before his bout with Ren Hiromoto even begins, Hagiwara makes his attitude clear by flashing a middle finger during the pre-fight moment. a fairly direct message. Of course, gestures like that tend to come with certain expectations. The fight starts with both fighters exchanging strikes on the feet, but the balance shifts quickly. Here, occasionally, the tension during pre-fight talk grows a little too intense. That was certainly the case when Vakayev and Tony Johnson crossed paths. The drama began when Tony Johnson said he planned to win the fight. For most fighters, that would simply be normal competitive talk. Vakayev, however, took it as a personal insult. He actually attacked Tony Johnson during the face-off.
It's not gonna happen. I guess you're gonna try to smash me because it ain't fucking happening.
Что делать? Он тебя разнесется.
I'm here. What? I'm not Evgeny. I'm not Evgeny.
Fast forward to fight night. Johnson enters the cage looking highly motivated. He begins landing clean punches early in the round.
Приходится смещаться Вакаеву.
По корпусу, кстати, уже
Vakayev attempts to rely on wrestling but struggles to create anything meaningful. Then Johnson lands a massive punch directly on Vakayev's chin. Vakayev drops. A few heavy ground strikes follow, and the fight is finished.
Поплыл от Вакаев! И такого Тони не упустит, скорее всего. Один, другой, третий, четвертый удар. Виктор Корнеев.
If we're discussing fighters who seem determined to imitate Conor McGregor, Maurice Adorf deserves a prominent mention. His performance during the build-up to his fight with Alexander Wiens made that fairly clear. Unfortunately, copying the mannerisms is much easier than copying the results. By Friday, Adorf appears extremely relaxed, almost celebratory. You might think he's already imagining a future bout with Conor McGregor himself, along with the enormous payday that would presumably come with it. But then, the cage door closes. And reality arrives quickly.
Oh, die erste Rechte. Schickt. Adolf zu Boden. Dann gibt's noch eine Flugstunde hinterher.
The first knockdown lands early, and most of that confident energy disappears almost instantly.
Ui! Die zweite Sitzrichtung, das war's. Das war's.
Not long after, Alexander Wiens ends the evening completely with a clean knockout. Wiens then stands over the fallen Adorf and shouts something along the lines of, "Who's McGregor now?" A fair question.
Hat man gesehen, aber am Ende können sich beide doch.
The moment serves as a useful reminder. Trying to be someone else inside the cage usually doesn't work. Borrowing another fighter's personality rarely produces the same ending.
Kriegt noch den High-Kick perfekt getimed von Alexander Wiens. Hier sehen wir es nochmal, steht auf.
Ben Guillain versus Julian Val. We begin with a rather tidy demonstration of something people like to call instant karma. On one side stands Ben Guillain. Across from him is Julian Val, a fighter decorated with tattoos from nearly every available patch of skin, and conveniently nicknamed the Jackal, a title he seems quite proud of, perhaps a bit too proud. 25 seconds later, the exploration ends with Julian unconscious on the canvas. A short evening at the office. One thing fighters are generally advised not to do during a face-off is physically shove the person they're about to fight. McGregor decided to test that guideline against Hume. During the pre-fight stare-down, he places his hands on Hume and pushes him in the face, perhaps hoping to establish dominance or at least create a dramatic moment. By the second minute of the round, Hume sees an opening. As McGregor throws a kick, Hume times a takedown perfectly and brings the fight to the ground.
Mark's got the dub, he's got the takedown. This is where Hume goes to work.
From there, the situation escalates quickly. Hume secures full mount. Some heavy ground and pound follows.
Hume, McGregor's going to take these shots.
Got to move.
A couple of shots now, he's got his back, he's got it underneath. It looks in really deep.
Then, he calmly transitions into a choke. McGregor taps.
It's really in deep. McGregor is trying to strike. He's tapping and it's over.
Our next situation involves Valiev facing Alyaskar. During the face-off, Valiev screams directly into Alyaskar's face, acting like a man possessed. And the fight begins. Within seconds of the opening round, Alyaskar lands the decisive strike. Valiev is knocked out almost immediately. A very short fight. And an even shorter explanation.
Попытка удара сразу.
Even after absorbing a few punches, he shakes his head as if nothing landed. But halfway through the round, Boyorquez starts landing clean shots. Instead of tightening his defense, Calhoun's continues taunting.
6'3".
But if this is your shot, you gotta take it.
Okay, if you're not ready to fight, yeah, exactly, don't take it.
Fought Ray Cooper among many others. Upstairs, Borges.
Moments later, Boyorquez launches a flying knee. It lands directly on Calhoun's chin. And just like that, the performance ends.
Here's the replay, guys. I gotta see. Here it is. Yeah.
Golly.
Here it is, another angle.
The chin.
What athleticism. Athleticism and timing.
Our next case quietly illustrates why basic sportsmanship tends to be a useful quality in combat sports. The scene features Georgiev facing Niembwe. Moments before the bout begins, Georgiev extends his hand, a simple gesture of respect, the traditional acknowledgement before two people begin attempting to concuss each other. Niembwe declines the offer. Instead of returning the handshake, he charges forward and gets directly in Georgiev's face. Round 1 begins shortly after. Georgiev responds the way many fighters prefer to respond, with clean, precise strikes. From that moment onward, the round becomes rather unpleasant for Niembwe. Heavy ground and pound, dominant positioning, constant pressure.
He's going to look to finish here as Georgiev. He's going to give up his back as Niembwe.
Load and tried to reverse, but now he has taken some heavy shots. This round's going to come to an end, but it was all Georgiev.
Oh, no doubt.
Round 2 begins with Niembwe clearly hunting another takedown. Unfortunately for him, the opportunity never really arrives. Georgiev shuts down every attempt. He outstrikes him in the clinch, he wins the exchanges, and the momentum now sits firmly on one side.
Up at this point is Georgiev.
Georgiev is laying it on him. I think Niembwe is done yet.
This thing interesting. We've said it before, all it takes is one, especially from a little powerhouse.
I reckon he's done yet.
As the round comes to an end, Niembwe looks badly discouraged. One of his eyes appears seriously damaged. At that point, the doctor steps in and calls the fight. Honestly, it was probably the correct decision. There was little reason for Niembwe to continue absorbing punishment. And somewhere in the process, he likely learned a fairly memorable lesson.
To replay right hands and left hands, but it just wasn't enough for the onslaught.
MMA has a simple rule. If you're going to disrespect your opponent, you'd better be ready to prove it. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe for more MMA stories and let me know in the comments which fight surprised you the most. Thanks for watching.